Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until they feel confident, until they have more money, more knowledge, more support, or more certainty. They tell themselves that one day they will finally start chasing their goals. But if you look closely, you will notice something important. The people who achieve remarkable things are rarely the ones who waited until they felt ready. They are the ones who started while feeling uncertain. They moved forward before they had all the answers. They took the first step even when they could not see the entire path. Think about your own life for a moment. How many dreams have you delayed because you felt unprepared? How many opportunities have passed by because fear convinced you that you were not good enough? Maybe you wanted to learn a new skill, start a business, improve your grades, create something meaningful, or change the direction of your life. Yet a small voice inside your mind kept saying, maybe later, maybe when I'm better, maybe when I'm ready. The truth is that readiness is often an illusion. Growth does not happen before you begin. Growth happens because you begin. Imagine a young student sitting in a classroom. They look around and see classmates who seem smarter, more confident, and more talented. Every time they compare themselves, they feel smaller. They begin to believe that success belongs to other people. As a result, they stop raising their hand, they stop asking questions, they stop trying as hard because they assume the outcome is already decided. But then one day, something changes. They realize that intelligence is not fixed. Talent is not fixed. Confidence is not fixed. These things can grow. So they start studying a little more each day. They ask questions when they do not understand something. They make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. Months later, they are not the same person. Not because they suddenly became gifted overnight, but because they stopped believing that their future was already written. This lesson applies far beyond school. In every area of life, progress belongs to those who are willing to improve gradually. The world often celebrates dramatic success stories, but what it rarely shows is the quiet effort behind them. It does not show the early mornings, the late nights, the failures, the self-doubt, or the countless moments when people considered giving up. Discipline is one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal growth. Many people think discipline means forcing yourself to suffer. They imagine a life without enjoyment or freedom. But true discipline is something different. Discipline is simply remembering what you want most instead of choosing what feels easiest right now. Every day, life presents small choices. Do you spend another hour scrolling endlessly, or do you spend that hour learning something valuable? Do you quit when the work becomes difficult, or do you continue for 10 more minutes? Do you focus on excuses, or do you focus on solutions? These choices may seem insignificant in the moment, yet your future is built from them. Success is rarely the result of one giant decision. More often, it is the result of hundreds of small decisions repeated consistently over time. Consider a person who decides to read just 10 pages a day. 10 pages do not seem like much, but after a year, they may have read dozens of books. Their knowledge expands, their perspective changes, their thinking improves. What appeared small at first becomes powerful through consistency. The same principle applies to exercise, studying, saving money, building relationships, and developing skills. Small actions, repeated daily, create extraordinary results. One of the biggest obstacles people face is the fear of failure. Failure can feel painful because we often attach our identity to our outcomes. When something does not work, we assume it means there is something wrong with us. But failure is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that you are trying. Think about how a child learns to walk. They fall over and over again. They lose balance, they stumble. Yet no one looks at a child falling and says, maybe walking just isn't for you. Everyone understands that falling is part of learning. Somehow, as adults, we forget this lesson. We expect ourselves to succeed immediately. We become embarrassed by mistakes. We avoid challenges because we do not want to look foolish. In doing so, we prevent ourselves from growing. Every successful person has failed. Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker was once nervous. Every skilled professional was once inexperienced. The difference is that they kept learning when things did not go according to plan. Education plays a powerful role in this journey. Education is not only about earning degrees or passing exams. It is about expanding your understanding of the world and your place within it. It is about developing the ability to think critically, solve problems, and adapt to change. The world is changing faster than ever. Information is available everywhere. Knowledge has become more accessible than at any point in history, yet information alone is not enough. What matters is how you use it. The people who thrive are not necessarily those who know the most. They are the ones who continue learning long after others stop. Never underestimate the value of curiosity. Ask questions. Explore ideas. Read books. Listen carefully. Learn from people with different experiences. Every piece of knowledge becomes a tool that can help you build a better future. There will be moments when life feels unfair. You may face obstacles you did not choose. You may encounter setbacks that seem impossible to overcome. There will be times when your efforts are not immediately rewarded. During those moments, remember this: your circumstances can influence your path, but they do not have to define your destination. History is filled with people who started with disadvantages and still created meaningful lives. Not because their journey was easy, but because they refused to let their difficulties become permanent excuses. They focused on what they could control. They continued moving forward, even when progress felt slow. Strength is not the absence of struggle. Strength is the decision to continue despite struggle. There is a powerful difference between interest and commitment. Many people are interested in success. They like the idea of achieving their goals. They enjoy imagining the results. But commitment goes further. Commitment means continuing even when motivation disappears. Motivation is valuable, but it is unreliable. Some days you will feel inspired, other days you will not. If you only act when you feel motivated, your progress will always be inconsistent. Commitment means showing up anyway. It means doing the work on ordinary days. It means keeping promises to yourself. And every time you keep one of those promises, you strengthen your self-respect. The relationship you have with yourself matters more than many people realize. Every action sends a message. When you repeatedly follow through on your commitments, you begin to trust yourself. You start believing that your words have value. That trust becomes a foundation for confidence. Confidence is not something you wait to feel before taking action. Confidence is something you build through action. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that your life does not change in a single moment. It changes through daily habits, daily choices, and daily effort. The future is not created tomorrow. It is created today. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to know exactly how every challenge will be solved. You only need enough courage to take the next step. Maybe your next step is opening a book. Maybe it is learning a new skill. Maybe it is applying for an opportunity you have been avoiding. Maybe it is trying again after a disappointment. Whatever it is, do not underestimate its importance. Years from now, you will not be defined by the fears you felt. You will be defined by the actions you took despite those fears. Your potential is greater than your current circumstances. Your future is larger than your present struggles. And your growth begins the moment you decide that progress is more important than perfection. So as you move forward, remember that success is not reserved for a special group of people. It belongs to those who keep learning, keep improving, and keep showing up. It belongs to those who refuse to let temporary setbacks become permanent limitations. It belongs to those who understand that every small effort matters. The person you want to become is not waiting somewhere in the distant future. That person is being built right now through the decisions you make today. Every page you read, every skill you practice, every challenge you face, and every time you choose growth over comfort, you are becoming stronger. And one day, when you look back on this chapter of your life, you may realize that the moment everything started to change was not when you achieved a major goal. It was the moment you stopped waiting for the perfect time and decided to begin. Because the path to a better future is not found by standing still and hoping. It is created by taking one step forward, then another, and another, until the person you once dreamed of becoming is finally looking back at you in the mirror.